Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea. Welcome to
Hey, good morning, everybody. How are we all doing? How is everybody feeling this morning? As you can tell, I'm still working on the whole camera angle thing. I am not doing well at it. I went and got something after actually, you know what I mean? 'Cause I kind of got tired. Hold on. You don't look right, Thomas. This might be a thing. this might end up being a thing. How's everybody feeling? Everybody good? Filled up? You filled up? Is it filled up? You know what I mean? As always, my name is Thomas Bishop. I am known as the villain. My title and designation is the Brutalist, the leader of the Villains Guild. I am a proud, upstanding member of the Outcast Nation. It is a Truthful Thursday, and I was awoken to the knowledge or to the news that Graham Plattner has dropped out of his main Senate race. He finally dropped out last night. But before he did that, I made a video where he was basically he didn't want to drop out unless he had a chance to, make his own, like, let me help you find a candidate. Like, dog, in the name of everything that is holy, you have done enough, sir. We need you to ejectocito, cuz. We really need you to get the F out. We need you to go on a plane with New Jack.
Jack, I can't feel my legs. You ain't gonna need them. Bombs away.
Like right over Baghdad, dog. We need you to go. But Graham Plattner and his weakness is a perfect time, an absolutely 100% perfect time for us to discuss America's biggest addiction problem. What I on Monday? I have no idea what you're talking about, Jay Thomas. But I love you anyway. Jay Thomas is in the building now. It's a party. So it gives us an opportunity to talk about America's worst addiction. The worst addiction that America is currently going through. It will not go to rehab. It will not try to get any help. In fact, it don't see nothing wrong with the addiction that it has. But the rest of us do. So, ladies and gentlemen, this morning we will be talking about America's addiction to, America's desire for, America's unmitigated need. Like they need this more than they need air. America needs this more than they need to improve. The addiction is mediocre ass white men. Once again, these are one of those shows that I need your thinking caps on, I need your hearing caps on, and we have to say ahead of time, if it doesn't apply, please let it fly. But if it hits you, bitch, I meant it to. Now, let's just start with the brutally obvious part of this, right? Bernie Sanders can't pick a good candidate out of a police lineup, and I don't know why y'all keep listening to that son of a bitch. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why people keep listening to Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, by his own admission, is a Democratic socialist, which makes him an independent in the Senate. And he caucuses with the Democrats. Angus King is the other independent in the Senate, in case y'all needed to know. But Angus King also caucuses with the Democrats, but he don't act like this. Could y'all imagine if Angus King got in front of a damn candidate and told y'all to vote for him? Some of y'all don't even know who the hell Angus King is, okay? Just me saying this to you. You have no idea. Some of y'all are going, Angus King. They elected a brand of beef as senator? What? If Angus King recommended a restaurant to some of y'all wouldn't go to. You're like, I ain't listening to some dude named Angus. Sounds too much like anus, and I ain't playing around. But Bernie Sanders, by his own admission, is an independent. And Bernie caucuses with the Democrats. But a lot of young folk, Megan, where you been? Missed you, love you. Welcome in with your beautiful self. Morning, Samantha, with your beautiful self. But young people discovered that Bernie believes in socialistic ideas. Here is something you need to know about Bernie Sanders when it comes to worldwide democratic socialism. According to our European brothers and sisters, who are democratic socialists for real, like they knee deep in democratic socialism, Bernie Sanders would be considered a conservative in Europe. Oh my God! The shit Bernie Sanders is advocating for is standard issue in Europe. They start off with universal health care. That shit, never mind it being on the table, the bitch is the goddamn table. What are you talking about? So Bernie, even in European democratic socialist circles, is considered a conservative. He still has the ideals of a capitalist. But it was Bernie Sanders who, when he ran in 2016, brought us the pubic crabs that would be Bernie bros. Every one of y'all have seen what a toddler does. 2, 3-year-old, y'all have seen them. Just acting like they ain't got no goddamn sense. Just straight raw dogging it. They act like they ain't got no goddamn sense. A toddler does it. No, Bernie ain't retired. That's the crazy part, Dragon. He ain't. He's still in the Senate. But Bernie ran for president in 2016. Now, did I agree with a lot of what Bernie said? Absolutely. Absolutely. Once again, I go by what our European brothers and sisters say. Bernie is a conservative compared to him. Universal health care? Absolutely. Free college education? Why the hell not? And I can say that not as some lippy-dippy, oh my God, I got flowers in my hair, flower power, bitch. No, I am a goddamn realist, okay? America's capitalism is a goddamn diseased, rabies-infested dog at this point. And I've always looked at it from the standpoint of American capitalism needs a socialism dog collar or that bitch gonna bite everybody. Chuckles, please be safe out there, brother. Please. So do I believe in these things that actually help, the United States? Yes. Yes, I do. Look at Wakanda Songbird trying to slide up in here. Beautiful sail. Wakanda. Anyway. So yes, I believe in these things. But when Bernie ran in 2016, right, there was so many Bernie bros like, yes, gotta get Bernie. Ah! And by the way, when I refer to a Bernie bro has no race, sex or sexual orientation, religious denomination, or nationality. A Bernie bro could be anybody. Okay? A Bernie bro can be anybody. So Bernie Sanders ran, and it ended up being between him and Hillary Clinton, and Bernie lost. Now, I do not care about conspiracy theories. Y'all can conspiracy theory these nuts. I don't care. Okay? But there was this conspiracy theory. Oh, the Democrats took it from Bernie. No, people voted. They didn't want Bernie. The end. It was at that point. NYC Playboy's in the building. Playboy. Missed you, man. Where you been, buddy? Bernie bros, because they're toddlers, had a conniption fit. And some of them even started to vote for Trump. Oh, my God! Because to the average non-thinking Bernie bro, if I can't have what I want, then burn it all. That was their thinking. Mentioned Bernie Sanders was an older Jewish fellow. Yes. Ashley's in the building with your beauty self. Bernie Bros was out there saying, well, if I can't have Bernie, I'll vote for Trump, which is the equivalent of, if I can't have my Big Mac, I'll eat dog turds. Remember that meme of Obama sitting in a chair going, that's what I was like, excuse me? So, because you couldn't have Bernie, you gonna vote for Trump? I just want y'all to know, the impetus for the I'm gonna vote for Trump came from there. That's where it came from. That's where it came from. That was the impetus for I'm going to vote for Trump. I didn't get what I wanted in this white man. So let me go vote for the other white man because, they all look the same. I don't know what the hell kind of shit is that. Quick little secret. A lot of those Patriot Front white supremacist dudes you see, they're Bernie bros. It's true. They're Bernie bros. They just took it way too goddamn far. They're Bernie bros. But let's be honest about Bernie Sanders. There's one picture of Bernie that annoys the ever-loving shit out of me every time I see it. Every single time I see it, I think, I'm going to smack the shit out of somebody. I'm stealing on somebody. It's the picture of a young Bernie Sanders being dragged off by police. That shows that he was out in the fight. Hey, man, I got pictures of me drunk off my ass being pulled out of a bar. Does that mean I was the bartender? What the fuck kind of shit is that? Wakandan, That is but one layer on the onion that is the villain. Just throwing it out there. That one picture is supposed to prove that Bernie was out there in the fight. It's one goddamn picture, okay? It's in black and white. Ain't y'all the ones that say if it's in black and white, that's so long ago? Why y'all keep dragging this goddamn picture up? I give a damn about that shit. Bernie was in the fight. Look, 2 white cops just dragging him out through the dirt. What was he protesting? For all we know, he could have been protesting Negroes in Maine or in Vermont. How the hell we know? You know what the hell he was doing? But that was supposed to show that Bernie was in the fight. Listen, when I told y'all that even Europeans see Bernie as a conservative compared to their democratic socialism, I meant that. Now, has Bernie done some good? Absolutely. Bernie has brought things to the forefront in conversations that America wasn't having thanks to Reagan's bitch ass and Bill Clinton's bitch ass being Reagan except with a Southern accent and a Democrat. So I will give Bernie his props. I absolutely will. However, I will also give him this work because he is the reason that we have to deal with these mediocre ass white men in the first goddamn place. More than that, I love you. Because at the end of the day, America is getting exactly what it bargained for. You see, if you come from a marginalized community, democratic socialism isn't something abstract. It's what black folks have been fighting for since day goddamn one. Okay? If you remember the famous Martin Luther King speech where he was talking about how manifest destiny caused, these white Europeans who are running, who created our government to take all this land out west, all this land, millions of acres of land. And then they were giving colonial settlers these plots of land. Good morning, Mary Greenberg's in the building. They were giving them to them. But when they freed the slaves, they gave us nothing. They told us pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. Oh, by the way, we'll find different and new ways to get your ass back into slavery, but I digress. So for us, we've always had to get it out of the mud. And it has built not just a work ethic in African Americans, but a mentality in African Americans. Like, this shit ain't got to be this hard, goddamn. This shit ain't got to be this hard. It don't. We look to our native and indigenous brothers and sisters who've been suffering with the same colonial boot longer than we had, right? And we saw that they were building communities that were about the collective rather than the individual. Black folks had to do the exact same thing. We got it out of the mud, but we got it out of the mud as a collective, not individual. You could not be an individualistic former slave. Your ass would have starved to death. You'd have been out there eating raw rabbit and shit. You know what I mean? We are used to watching as those same descendants of the European colonial powers that created that took this country, then turned around and did the same thing to us. Any black prosperity, Oscarville, Seneca Village, the Black Wall Street, Rosewood, and places like that. Any level of progress that African Americans was making, white folks was bringing their ass up in there like, oh, no. Wait a minute, hold on. Are y'all doing it on your own? Are y'all over here actually surviving and thriving even though you used to be our lawnmowers? Oh, no.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
And they would routinely terrorize and burn terrorize and burn, terrorize and burn, terrorize and burn. This is a ongoing thing if you are African American, right? And then for those same people, their descendants, to then turn around and say, well, why can't black people get their shit together? Black on black Chicago is disgusting and disrespectful to us. But guys like Bernie did bring these things to the table. Shit that black folks have been doing for years. Shit that brown folks have been doing for years. The problem is the packaging. I said this on a video several months ago. I will repeat it for as long as I have memory of it. No revolution for the good of the collective, for the good of all, can be led by a white man. Shang. As hurtful as some people will find that, it is absolutely true because it is white men that have propped up this system. The struggles of African Americans was at the hand of rich, white, landowning men who then convinced poor, working class white men that they were part of a club called white. The shit never worked. It never has. Because I've seen some of these poor races. Y'all ain't got a pot to piss in or ground to catch it. If it falls out of the window, you ain't got it either, goddamn it. A poor racist white person is the dumbest dumb bitch on the planet. Your ass is out. You are hunting squirrels because your SSI check is not going to cover your rent in that trailer. But you have the nerve to say you're in a better position than a black man. Boy, if you don't sit your goofy ass down. I'm literally working in a shed that is bigger than some of these people's houses. And you a racist? You don't make no sense. But it was rich white landowning men that convinced poor working class white men that their enemies were black and brown. And the list just kept getting added on. The list just kept getting added on. Let's talk about our Jewish brothers and sisters. They catch hell for being Jewish. You see, in the hierarchy of racism in America, when it comes to the descendants of these white European landowning people, it's blacks then Jews or Jews then blacks. It like clockwork, people. Like clockwork. If they will throw around the N-word willy-nilly and freely, best believe they got some insults for Jewish folks. Do not worry about it. Don't. But no revolution for all can be led by these men. Why? Because they have been built. They are the ones that built the system. What the hell makes you think they're going to be the ones to dismantle it? You mean dismantle their way of life? Dismantle the freedoms that they have to be able to be as much of an asshole as they possibly can? Are you kidding? That's like Shaquille O'Neal not playing defense in the middle as a center because the other guy needs to score. You out your goddamn, they will bounce that ball off your goddamn head. It's Matumbo's house 24/7. So you cannot get a collective win with the lead being a white man. But ever since 2015, I'll go to 2015. Ever since 2015, that is exactly what we have been told has to happen. People like AOC stick out because she's a Puerto Rock from New York, a woman Puerto Rock from New York. They stick out. Those are the wins that Bernie might have been talking about, but that's not the person that Bernie envisioned to do it. It isn't. It is a mediocre white man at the end of all these plans. It is. And the biggest example of what I am talking about is Donald Trump himself. Donald Trump is the most mediocre white billionaire I've ever seen in my entire life. When you think of evil billionaires sitting in a damn darkened room, a dark wood grain room with smoking cigar, it's Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a trust fund baby. He is. He is a trust fund baby who tried to sell y'all shit other than the shit that he got his trust fund for. His father was in real estate. Donald Trump wanted to sell you steaks. Make that shit make it make sense, Jesus. Donald Trump wanted to sell y'all meat, and his daddy made money in real estate. Them two ain't even in the same neighborhood, unless you're selling the real estate to build a place where you're selling meat. He is a Nepo baby. He's a trust fund baby. That's all he has been. That's all he's ever been. He has played the part of this successful businessman, but quite frankly, he is ass. He is cheek sandwiches. He is cheek sandwiches. But he's mediocre as shit. He's one of the most mediocre white men I've ever seen in my entire adult life. I have never seen anybody this below average become as successful as this piece of shit at. I think about my dad, who dropped out in the 6th grade, who joined the Navy at 17, who fought in World War II, but he was a cook because they wouldn't allow him to be a gunner's mate or anything like that. And I think about the fact that they kicked him out of the Navy because he was illiterate. He walked right across the street, joined the Air Force, did that for 3 years as a cook, and then was kicked out of there because he was illiterate. I think about my father working on driving trucks coast to goddamn coast. Was my father a philandering drinker? You goddamn right he was. And that is some shit that's that, okay? That's that. I think about my mother, who dropped out in the 11th grade to help her family, who raised 5 kids in the projects during the height of the crack era. And I think about my mother walking up a hill in the snow. These images will never leave me. These images will never leave me. The reason I hold my mother in such high esteem is the shit that I saw her do. My mother walked uphill, blocks away from home, to catch a bus, to catch another bus, to catch a third bus, to go all the way out to Overland Park, Kansas. If you look from Kansas City, Missouri to Overland Park, Kansas, you can type that shit in your Google Maps right now. You can type that into your Google Maps right now. Kansas City, Missouri to Overland Park, Kansas. My mother took 3 buses to get there. She worked as a housekeeper. And then when that wasn't supplementing us enough because we were on Section 8 and food stamps and things of that nature, she would go and get a second job where she would leave her first job, come right past her house because she had to go, her other job was downtown. That means she would pass the bus and she would need to go home to go downtown to clean buildings again. And then I think of Donald Trump. Compared to them two, that man doesn't work. He's a lazy bitch. But because Donald Trump was white and a man, he got away with it. You see, if you are a mediocre white man with money, you got carte blanche to just never achieve shit. I want y'all to Type in Larry Ellison. Look at that man's face. Does Larry Ellison look like he's ever done a hard day work in his life? Dragging my mother was the baddest woman I think I have ever known. And while all of this was going on, while my mother was doing all this work, she was raising 5 kids. 3 girls, 2 boys. She instilled in me a work ethic like you would not believe. Danielle, good morning. I missed you too. Your beautiful self. As a young black kid, I understood the game on a level a guy like Bernie Sanders never will. American society, look at Larry Ellison. He is on the screen right now. Look at Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison looks like shit. We're supposed to revere guys like this. We're supposed to revere them. Their money speaks louder than your wants. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? His money speaks louder than your wants. We're supposed to venerate and celebrate them. This is the boomerang effect of the return of the mediocre white man. Argue with your mama, don't argue with me. I understand America better than Bernie does. It's not about hard work. It's about hard work and white. I said what I said. I said what I said. It's not about family values. It's about family values, white. And you cannot popularize that. You cannot, there's no popular movement that you can start with that bullshit because you're starting on the standpoint of supposedly these hardworking white men do it more than every goddamn body else. No matter what achievements, compared to some run-of-the-mill average-ass white man, it don't mean shit. That's how the game is played. That's how the game is played. If you are a Jew, you are responsible for everything, every conspiracy theory people can come up with. Why? Because you're a Jew. That's it. That's it. That's it. If you were a Latino, you started off on third. You started off in the dugout and you just stayed there, right? You just stayed there. It always has to be put through a lens of a white man. And when we were talking about people like Neil Armstrong and shit like that, maybe, yeah, okay, great. That sounds fantastic. We can listen to that. Neil Armstrong went to space. That sounds like a good thing. But we're not even getting that anymore. And the Bernie bros helped us to get here. I'm sorry. Argue with your goddamn mama, because if Bernie bros had said, you know what, Bernie didn't win, but Donald Trump is completely not ready or should not be president of the United States, I'm going to vote for Hillary Clinton. We might not even be where we are right now. It's a goddamn truth. But Bernie's influence had a cascade effect. It had a cascade effect. Because everybody and their grandmother continued to bring up these unqualified pieces of shit. Did I like Hillary Clinton? No, I didn't. I didn't. I did not. I'm sorry, I didn't. But I haven't liked Trump since 1989, so the choice was easy for me. Choice was easy for me. Let's be honest. American democracy is now being propped up by the people who weren't even represented in it when it was founded. That is a truism. American democracy right now is being propped up and kept afloat by the people who were not even represented when the Constitution was created. At the time of the Constitution, when they were saying all men are created equal, they owned people. Now it's those same people that they own that is holding democracy up under the weight of mediocrity in the form of these white-ass men. Now, does that mean all of them? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's not all mediocre white men. It's not all white men. Because there's a lot of white men that will sit and tell you these mediocre pieces of shit have got to go. Jess, you better be chatty. Stop playing. Audience participation, Jess, you know what I mean. How is it that one political party's whole outlook, their new shine is celebrate the mediocre white man? Whereas the other political party, the other major political party wants some of that. And mind you, these mediocre ass white men, they don't even represent 50% of the voting populace. They don't. The Democrats long could have beaten the brakes off the Republicans had they leaned into what they already have, which is a coalition of multiculturalism, diversity, excellence, getting it out of the mud, what have you. They could have beat the shit out of the Republicans decades ago. Ronald Reagan should have been the zenith of white male mediocrity. And after that, the Democrats should have been like, oh, word, I should say no more, fam. Let us lean into these sisters. Let us lean into these brothers. Let us lean to these Spanish-speaking folk. Let us lean into these Muslims. Let us lean into these Jews. Oh, look, the LGBTQIA plus is here. Let's lean into all that. No, what do they keep doing? Well, Reagan got the white guy. We want some white guy. Even when there were white guys on the other side going, why are you going over there trying to get them bitches? Like they're rotted corpses. But Bernie is a part of the white male mediocrity experiment. He's part of it. I'm sorry. It might hurt some people's feelings because Bernie says such great common sense things. But bitch, had you been listening to people like Ida B. Wells and goddamn James Baldwin, bitch, we were saying that shit before Bernie was even thought about. I want y'all to understand something. In every significant movement in the United States, there have been multicultural hands involved. I love when people use pieces and parts of Martin Luther King, but like I have said on many of an occasion, whether it's Fred Hampton, Angela Davis, Kathleen Cleaver, Eldridge Cleaver, Huey P. Newton, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, John Lewis. I do not care the black civil rights leader or the black leader that you pick up. They were not talking to white people. I take that back. They were talking to white people about us. We were the center and the focal point of what these people were talking about. So yes, you could take an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere from Martin Luther King and feel good about it. But the injustice he was talking about was our black asses. If we're not being treated like human beings, then nobody on the planet is being treated like human beings. When you talk about, well, Malcolm X said about the liberal and the conservative, Fox, wolves, we know. He was talking about your white asses when it comes to us. We ain't got a safe harbor in this bitch. We gonna get eaten one way or the goddamn other. Fred Hampton was saying, we're not gonna fight racism with racism, we're gonna fight racism with socialism. But the racism he was talking about was about us. I literally will never forget. Right after Roe v. Wade was threatened. This was before they banned it. Threatened. White women discovered Tupac. Oh, shit. And once again, not all of Tupac. The one song that he made specifically for black women, the one song he specifically made for black women. Keep your head up. White women would once again, colonizing some shit. They took the part where it said, since we all came from a woman, got our game from a woman. You know what I mean? They were like, he's talking about us. No, bitch, he's talking about black women. You had white women out there arguing with black women about the meaning of a song Tupac, a black man, made towards black women. And I realized right then and there, I was like, this mediocrity thing, this strain is getting nasty. Y'all ever seen the TV show The Strain, where it was the little worms? You didn't have to worry about the thing, but if one of the Strigoi touched you, a worm got inside of you, reproduced, and then you became a goddamn Strigoi. Remember that? That's how that was. Mediocrity started to become this Strigoi strain. Okay? Like it was disingenuous. Because the Bernie bro / Trump supporting MAGA guy was actually effing up every goddamn conversation. We could not talk about the collective with these some bitches in the room. What about me? Here's a misconception that will come out of the mouth of a mediocre white man. Thomas Bishop hates white people. 6 years of work. I want y'all to understand every TikTok video was 6 years of work. Whether it was funny, educational, angry. It's 6 years of work of me making sure I know what I want to say, using 30 seconds, using a minute, using 3 minutes, using 10 minutes. And you reduced all of that. You took all of 6 years of work, put it in a strainer, and strained it out to say Thomas Bishop hates white people. That is a mediocre white man trait. Reduce everything about a person down to one thing and then run with that. And then have other people run with that. They did it to Hillary. They did it to Biden. They did it to Kamala Harris. They did it to Obama. Take the totality of the 8 years of Barack Obama, reduce it down to, well, you just voted for him because he's black. Are you for real right now? Like, are you smoking rock? What are you talking about? They reduced the entire presidency from the announcement to the farewell address of Barack Obama. Looked white black people in the goddamn face for 8 years and said we only voted for him because he was black. Bitch, you know I can read, right? You understand I can read. Wrestle chick, good morning.
Nigga, did you know that I can see you?
You know, you're standing right there. I can see you. Black people only voted for Obama because he's black. Couldn't have possibly been that none of us liked Sarah Palin, but we respected the shit out of John McCain. But as long as that crazy bitch was on the ticket, we wasn't going to vote for her because we've heard her open her mouth and say things about not reading or reading a bunch of newspapers or seeing Russia from her goddamn back door. It couldn't have possibly been that, right? It couldn't have possibly been that. It couldn't have possibly been that we listened to Barack Obama's policies and we agreed with some, disagreed with others, but we realized we could actually work with him, right? But nobody ever asked a mediocre white man if he's voting for Trump because he's white. That's part of the rule book of the mediocre white man. If you're Latino and there's a Latino candidate, you're voting because he's a Latino. But if there's a white man who's a candidate and this white man votes for him, he votes for him for policies. Bitch, if you don't get out of my goddamn face, sit over there if I smack the shit out of you. Sarah Palin was patient zero for it. Sarah Palin was patient zero. She brought a level of dumb to the political discourse that hadn't been there in ever. She was patient zero. She was. She was patient zero. When it came time to replace Obama, America had a choice. A person who had been a senator and had been a secretary, what was it? She was Secretary of State, versus a real estate dude that was selling meat in a sharper image and had a show where all he got to say is, "You're fired." And America said, "Give me the 'you're fired' guy." That is mediocre white man. That is the mediocre white man strain right there. Hillary had to literally be able to fly like Kal-El to get to a place that Donald Trump can open his front door, close it, walk across the street, and there it is. She had to be 10 times better than a mediocre-ass white man. But before that, remember the Tea Party that started out talking about taxed enough already? And then they morphed into every racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, anti-Semitic, Islamophobic, transphobic, and ableist thing you could possibly goddamn think of. And they were being funded by people like the goddamn Koch brothers. Oh, I'm sorry, the Koch brother, because the other one is worm food. I said what I said. I don't care. I don't care. I don't. Sarah Palin crawls so that MTG and Lauren Boebert could walk. MTG and Lauren Boebert walked so that Nancy Mace could fly. Nancy Mace flew so that Laura Loomer could become a goddamn supersonic jet. Mediocre white men finally felt like somebody was listening to them after 8 years of being under the Negro. That was it. That was it. That was it. And for over 10 years, not just America, but the world has been subjected to the whims and wishes of some of the most below average bitches I've ever seen in my entire adult life. I knew that I needed to go to war with mediocre white men when I saw them putting Charlie Kirk next to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Oh my God! You must be out your goddamn mind. You have fallen and smoked all the rock on the way down to bump your goddamn head. Charlie Kirk in the same realm as Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Malcolm X started out as a criminal, went into prison, found Islam and the ability to be articulate. He taught himself. When he came out, he was a dynamic orator. He spoke on things that black people have been speaking about for years. He was the counterbalance, the one that says the uncomfortable thing in the room with the uncomfortable people that maybe we should separate. Maybe we are never going to find any justice in a white man system. When he was freed from the Nation of Islam and he went on his pilgrimage, he came back another different person, speaking about the universality and the brotherhood of all, and how, yes, white people can be involved in this fight, just like there can be white Muslims. I know a lot of y'all don't understand that. I know a lot of people are like, white Muslims? Yes, you dumb bitch. There are white Muslims. There is a story of a man that I have wanted to meet for over 10 years. Over 10 years. He is a former neo-Nazi skinhead who converted to Islam and now fights for human rights. That's a true story. That is a true goddamn story. A white man who was a neo-Nazi skinhead who one day looked a little bit into Islam, found peace in Islam, converted to become a Muslim, and is now one of the biggest fighters for human rights ever. I've been wanting to meet this man for over 10 years. Martin Luther King, who went to college. They call him doctor for a reason. He has a doctorate, a PhD, who spoke passionately about the wants and needs of the Negro at the time, who spoke about the fact that it is a white man's situation to fix. All black people can do is exist in it. Hence the reason we will be nonviolent, because we will show you that there is a counterbalance to the violence of these white men. You get these two men, and then you put Charlie mother effing Kirk next to them. People got people fired for not crying about the death of this bitch. This mediocre, below average ass dude. People were going and calling other people's jobs. We're going to get you fired for what you said about Charlie Kirk. I dare you call my boss. I dare you call my boss. I dare you call my boss. Call my boss, because I'm talking about this one in the neck ass, below average ass, mediocre white man with all gums and no teeth. Please call my boss. Please call my boss. I can almost guarantee you what my boss is going to say. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. I think I got it. Yeah. This will be the message that you're going to get from my boss.
And after you hang me, kiss my ass.
People were getting fired for a man who, on his best day, could not lace the shoes of people like Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King. We realized that a lot of anti-Semitism went with these mediocre-ass white men. Not because it's fashionable or sexy. My brother E's in the building, the leader of the Outcast Nation. There's a lot of anti-Semitism that rides with these mediocre-ass bastards, which is going to lead to something. So everybody hold on. Mediocrity is now the coin of the realm. A lot of those Patriot Front dudes were Bernie bros. They probably still are. But what makes them unique now is that they have to hide their raggedy mouth ass faces to be as racist as they've wanted to be over the past 10 years. But they're mediocre. Every one of them. Mediocre as shit. Have never done anything. Have never achieved anything. Yeah, they might be veterans, but not that goddamn much. These people are mediocre, below average bitches. But unfortunately, the way our political system is set up, we got to have these mediocre hoes in the goddamn conversation. Imagine you're building a house. You are a carpenter. You know woodwork. Your friend is an electrician, so he knows all the electrical things. You have a friend that puts roofs on, so we understand structural things. You've got guys that do foundations. You got guys that do brickwork. You got guys that lay cement. They are all experts in their field. But we got to wait for the one guy who got the damn job because his dad is the foreman of the goddamn construction company. He ain't lifted shit in his life, but he the one out there telling everybody what to do. What kind of shit is that? Just think about that. Oh, and the mediocreness is not just contained in the United States. You understand that, right? Nigel Farage is a mediocre white man. Tommy Robinson is a mediocre white man. Marie Le Pen in France is a mediocre-ass white woman. This bitch is giving birth to mediocrity. Somebody is having sex with this woman and producing some of the most below-average-ass children you ever seen in your goddamn life. Viktor Orban in Hungary, below average ass white man. Vladimir Putin, and this is why I keep my coffee close. Ain't nobody in this room right now. Vladimir Putin is a below average ass white man. I'm sorry. He has to get on a horse with no shirt on to make himself look like something instead of actually leaning on any achievements the punk ass has ever had. We are infested with mediocrity. We are around the world. But it started with the guy they elected president in 2016. Never in the history of this country has somebody so unready for the job they're going for ever won the bitch. Liz Truss in England, below average ass white woman. Why the hell would you step your stupid ass up there to be prime minister? And bitch, you were there. Liz Truss prime ministership lasts as long as this coffee. Like, once this coffee's gone, that was Liz Truss. The Reform Party in the UK is the revenge of mediocre ass white people.
I don't like the Pakis and the Muslims and the blacks.
Do you have any policy?
Whatever it is, I want to get rid of the Pakis and the Muslims and the blacks.
Bitch, then sit your mediocre ass down in your house. You'll never see him again. Turn your goddamn television off, you doofy bitch. Mediocrity runs our world now. Which brings me back to Bernie. Bernie saw this mediocre ass shit. He saw a worldwide invasion of the below averages. He saw that the below averages now run everything, and we should listen to them, even though you can hear the same goddamn thing these mediocre bitches was complaining about if you watch an episode of, I don't know, Good Times, for F's sake. And much like Bill Clinton, Bernie Sanders started a movement. We need our own mediocre white men. Part of them said, what the hell are you talking about? Why do we need them? Let me tell you something. This isn't a TikTok thing for me. It never has been. This is the cloth I'm cut from. If I don't know something, right, but a black woman does, I sit my stupid ass down and shut the F up and let her lead. Again, let me say that one more time. If there is something I don't know, I'm completely in the dark about it. But there's a sister someplace that not only knows, but she has cures and shit like that for them. Morning tea time with T's in the building. I sit my big, dumb, black ass down and I listen to her. You see, I was raised in a matriarchy. This is not new to me. My mother led my house. And while she was working 2 and 3 jobs, she was raising us. So what the hell makes you think all of a sudden I got a lead? My mother was a lead. My mother, a woman, a black woman at that. But in the grand scheme of politics, a smart black woman will be ignored. But if a mediocre white man says the same thing that the black woman says, all of a sudden, let's put him on MS Now and with Don Lemon. Can we? Why? 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 Because for some reason in America, a mediocre white man can say the same things that a black woman says, and somehow it's some revelation. That's why I said Bernie ain't new. Bernie, you talking about shit that black folks been talking about for years, decades. Why do we gotta Why do we have to sling crack rock or have a wicked jump shot in order to be successful in this country? How come our merits, and which we have, how come our merits are not weighed the same way these mediocre-ass white men's merits are, or even better in that regard? I remember the Asian community bringing that damn lawsuit to the Supreme Court that effectively gutted affirmative action, but they never touched legacy admission. Some of these goddamn kids are sitting in college right now because their grandpa put a wing on a goddamn library. And that's the only reason their dumbasses is in college right now. $6 million for 6, baby. Hashtag 6M46. So, for whatever reason, Bernie became kingmaker. If Bernie put his touch on you, you should win. If Bernie put his touch on you, you should win. Here's the problem with Bernie Sanders. Here is the problem with Bernie Sanders. And I'll let you listen to it. I ain't even got to go far to find it. I will let you listen to it.
Identity politics.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And then you get to what we call identity politics.
Yeah.
That you're black, you're wonderful, you're tremendous, you're gay, you're the greatest human being on earth.
Yeah.
And rather than say, what do you stand for?
Exactly.
You're gay, that's fine, who cares?
Yeah.
But what do you stand for?
Now, mind you, only a mediocre white man can say that out loud and people agree with it. I'm working on the juicy thigh meat, sir. Only a mediocre white man can say that. You know why mediocre white men want to get away from identity politics? You really want to know what the truth is? Because you cannot compete where you cannot compare. You cannot compete where you cannot compare. I use E a lot as an example. I do. I use Elijah a lot. And I'm pretty sure he's done the same thing to me, but I digress. Elijah does the work. He does the work. He is out there, helping all people with trauma, especially men. You know, that group that everybody swears up and down we need more of. But we don't need the rock hard, stone steel type guys. We need guys with emotional balance. E does the work. Now, why in the name of all that is holy would I listen to a white man tell me that everything Elijah does for his community is identity politics, and we need to find somebody that does exactly what Elijah does, but they're not, but they're white? Are you out of your goddamn? Why would I need that? Why? One in my opinion with your beautiful self. Why in the name of Rao would I need that? He's already doing the work. But sure, let me find a white guy doing the same thing. So it's not acceptable when he does it? Are you kidding me? Bernie, but that's how Bernie operated. That's how he operates now. That's how he operates right now. And it is the reason that Graham Plattner dropped out of the race this morning. I heard something that shocked the ever-loving shit out of me. If I can find it. Because I know damn well it shocked the ever-loving shit out of me. See if I have it. I don't even know if I have it. I don't even know if I have it. You know what? There is a gentleman running for a Senate seat in Florida. His name is, hold on. His name is Bernard Taylor for Congress. All right. Bernard Taylor is a firefighter. Highly intelligent brother. Believe me when I tell you, I've been on panels with him several times. Always been impressed. Love the guy. This is what he said about Graham Plattner a couple of days ago. Take a listen.
You know, unfortunately, it's stories like the ones that, are surrounding what's going on with Graham Plattner that are frustrating for candidates like myself down here in Florida and others who are, good people running real good grassroots campaigns that don't have nearly the support, infrastructure, and backing that he has had over the past year. And even if we just had a fraction of that support among all of our great candidates down here, the amount of positive change we could actually have in our state would be tremendous. But instead, you get people like this who get propped up by the media and the certain politicians and certain influencers on the internet, and it's just unfortunate. But what I need you to do is pivot. I need you to reach down here in Florida, find you a candidate that you like and that you're willing to support, because our primaries haven't happened yet. They are on August 18th. You still got plenty of time to get behind someone, throw their support your way and get their name out there, because we're trying to do really, really good things down here. So that's my challenge to you. If you were a supporter of his, please pivot, find somebody down here in Florida and throw your support behind them.
Now, mind you, so it doesn't look like Thomas hates white men or white people. There is a candidate who I have admired since the day I found him on TikTok. His name is Richard Ojeda. Richard Ojeda is a former major in the United States Army. Former sapper. For those of you that don't know, sappers are the equivalent of special forces in combat engineering. That's why they say sappers lead the way. Those are the ones that blow open doors and shit like that. This is him. He is running for a congressional seat in North Carolina. I've been following him since he was in Pennsylvania. He was the one that made that big teacher uprising in Pennsylvania. And a lot of people do not know anything about this man, nor is he getting even nearly half the support that Graham Plattner did. Let me see if I have a video. I know I do, because I have followed Richard Ojeda for a very long time. And yes, if you say, oh, wow, you only doing that because he's a former Army person. Yes. You goddamn right I am. Oh, you only support him because he's a former military person. Yep. But it's not just the fact that he's a military person. It's the type of person that Richard Ojeda is. You see, I got that video. I know I do. I know I do. I can find it. Here. Where did it go? Where'd it go, Thomas? It's around here. Hold on. I don't be prepared sometimes for some of this. I be going off the top of my head, and I be doing my thing. Matter of fact, screw it. I'll just do it this way.
Boy, that's a freaky.
There it is. This is Richard Ojeda.
How many of the people do you think in our military are Latino and Hispanic? Because a lot of them are. There are a lot of people that came to this country and were allowed into this country because they were willing to serve in our military. I was in Iraq and I watched over 350 people raise their right hand and take their oath of citizenship. And there were some that were on that path that didn't survive long enough to take that oath. It is unacceptable what we are seeing right now. How many of the people do you think
That's Richard Ojeda. That is Richard Ojeda. This is Richard Ojeda.
This message is to Mr. President Donald Trump and to every general and political appointee sitting in his military cabinet. My name is Major Retired Richard Ojeda, and I wore this nation's uniform and fought this nation's wars for 24 years. I'm speaking to you as a combat soldier who understands orders and understands lines that you do not cross. Last week, one of your senior military commanders was asked in a congressional hearing about using military force inside the United States against American citizens. And he said if an order came down to do so, he would carry out that order. On my back, I've got the names of 13 of my brothers who never returned home from war. I want you to hear me loud and clear.
Love you, Mary. Have a great day.
They did not die for this.
Love you. Hey, Dragon,
they
be
did
safe.
not
Love you,
die
man.
so the president of the United States could label people who disagree with him as domestic terrorists and enemies from within. The real enemy is any person in leadership that tries to turn the weapons of war on the American citizens and
now, mind you,
calls it patriotism.
Mind you, I have never seen Bernie go to a Richard Ojeda campaign rally. Not one time. I haven't seen it. Bernie, here is Richard Ojeda and Bernard Taylor talking the talk that everybody looks for Bernie Sanders to talk. And yet, Bernie's never been at a Bernard Taylor for Congress website. Ain't never been to no rally. He's never been to a Richard Ojeda rally. Never. But who did he prop up? Who did Bernie Sanders prop up? Graham Plattner. Graham Plattner, who up until this year, be safe, Mary, love you. Up until this year, had a totem cough on his chest. Oh my God! A totem cough is some of that Nazi iconography. A totem cough is some of that Nazi iconography. Up until this year, he had it on his chest. Now, under any other normal circumstance, oh, bro, you got to go. You got to get up out of here. Listen, under any other normal circumstance, when a guy like Graham Plattner with a totem cough on his chest stood up, people would be like,
"Sit your dumb ass down."
My opinion is gifted 5 Ghost Claw Productions radio memberships. Thank you, my opinion. Appreciate that. Under any other normal circumstance, that's a disqualifying thing right there. Boom, you get out of here. Then we find out that his online presence was about antagonizing black folks and Jews. Black people don't tip. I tip all the time. My wife and I tip all the time. All the time. I've been tipping my whole life. Making jokes about gay folk. Again, he's still in the race, though. All this was known. Here come Bernie. I'm endorsing Graham Plattner for Senate. Then you have people like Emma Vigeland from the Sam Cedar report. You had Hassan Piker. You had, what is her name? Nina Simone? Or Nina, whatever the hell her name is. Nina Turner, not Simone. Not Simone. Nina Turner. You had all these leftists, far leftists, who were just like, we're getting behind Graham Plattner. Now, let me ask y'all a simple question. Simple question. Imagine if Graham Plattner was black. Imagine if Graham Plattner was black. And this many goddamn red flags popped up about him. Bernie's not standing next to him. Bernie is going to try to have his ass, he's going to ask for a predator drone strike if his ass is black. The fact that he spent time as a black water mercenary. If Grand Platinum was a black man, you wouldn't have heard his ass giving you an order at Starbucks, goddammit. But what was the mindset behind it? I'll tell you. It goes back to Bernie talking about getting away from identity politics. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look at the life you lead right now. Look at the demographic you're a part of. I don't care what it is. Just take a look at the demographic you're a part of. Here's the question. Can you turn that off? The silence isn't for me. It's for you. Can you turn that off? If you're a black woman, can you turn that off? We got a $10 super chat from the one and only Drago. Oh, no, Annabelle, my baby. Annabelle.
Donations. Gifts.
When I came down, Planner's father gave him a small loan to pin an oyster business, and his mother, who owns a chain of restaurants, was his biggest buyer. He is Democratic version of Trump. I just want y'all to think about it. Whatever demographic you're a part of right now, can you turn it off? Can you turn off being a black woman or a black man? Can you turn off being gay or trans? Can you turn off being a woman? Can you turn off being a millennial? Can you turn off being in poverty? So what the actual French fried, funky fresh, flip-flop and flapjack and flying fish Fezuk is Bernie Sanders talking about? Explain that to me. To say that out loud in front of microphones and cameras where people can see and hear you is the most oxymoronic, stupid-ass goddamn statement I think I've ever heard come out of anybody's mouth in my 54 years of life. How do I turn off being melanated? How? How do I turn off being a veteran? How do I turn that off? How do I turn off being a husband to a wife that works for the government? How do I turn off having little black grandchildren? How do I turn that off? My identity is exactly why I vote the way I do. But do you know why these people hate identity politics? It is because white men, mediocre white men, have absolutely nothing to stand on. Period. Period. In the face of every trial and tribulation, a person in a marginalized community, and that includes women, by the way. In the face of all of that, how the hell can you stand out? I'm a black man in America. I'm afraid of the police. I'm a woman. I want my body. I want to be able to control my own body. I'm a Latino who has family that are DACA recipients. I'm an Asian business owner who is treated like the model minority and I just want to live. I'm a gay person. I can't love who I love. I'm a trans person who's getting attacked all the time just trying to take a shit in the bathroom. I'm a white guy. And my coffee was cold this morning. Why can't y'all turn off all that stuff and just be human? Bitch, why can't you turn your shit on and shut your bitch ass up? Poverty does not know a race. If you are a poor person in the United States, if you are a poor person in the United States, every day is a day for survival. Every single day is a day for survival. Enough food on the table to feed yourself and your family, to pay the rent, to pay the lights in your house. That is your identity when you walk your ass into a voting booth. You are trying to vote for somebody that will make your life just a tad bit better. You can't turn that off. You can't. There is no turning that off. There's no way you can turn it off. I cannot turn off my experiences as being a black man in the United States. I can't turn this shit off. It is impossible for me to do. And if you really want to be honest, and I'm going back across the pond, it is the identity politic aspect of it that piss off mediocre white men, hence the reason people like Nigel Farage and Tommy Robinson are on the goddamn scene in the first place. All they're screaming is, let's get rid of identity, but please get rid of these people. That's the way we get rid of identity politics. It's a line I'm trying to tell you. It is a goddamn line, people. When mediocre white men want to stand out, they got to make sure they got two choices. Either A, come with something compelling to where we will listen, or B, silence the voices of everybody in the room. If you silence the identity of everybody else, the only thing is left is the grievances of mediocre, below average ass white men. And literally, that's how you get where we are. What is Tommy Robinson really screaming about? At the end of the day, what is he really, really hollering about? What made the Reform Party in the first place? There's too many identities in the room. Too many unique voices and unique stories. I can't be heard over all of it. Which brings us to Graham Plattner. Graham Plattner is a mediocre white man. But because he had a mustache, owns a gun, and talks populism, Bernie Sanders thought that would be perfect to put on the goddamn national stage. Here's the problem, Mr. Sanders. Here's the goddamn problem, Mr. Sanders. You're not going to sell me Trump on the left. I'm too old, too cranky, and too goddamn smart for you to try to pull the wool over my goddamn eyes. Kiss my ass. Put it in your mouth. Put it all in your jaw meat, bitch. You are out of your damn mind.
Put my balls on a pita bread with some hummus and tahini and eat that to the face. You feel me? Mind your fucking business. Nobody asked you anything.
You're right. You're right. That was
Pause! What is that?
If you're black, it's go to work. If you're white, it's how can we help? Because the lens of the world is a white man's lens. And if you are a mediocre white man, you cannot understand the struggles of anybody else. It's that simple. Graham Plattner is running in Maine. If Graham Plattner was trying to run in, let's say, Los Angeles, they'd have beat the brakes and the carburetor off this bitch ass. You ain't running for shit over here, partner. Get your ass out of here. Your toting cop chest having ass. Bitch, go on. He ran in Maine, a safe space, where their senator, the one they continue to send up to Washington, D.C., is a mediocre-ass white woman. Susan Collins is below average. By all accounts, allegedly, Mitch McConnell is dead, right? By all accounts, Mitch McConnell is dead. Yet for some reason, they're holding that information. Why are they holding it? Because they got to have that Senate seat. This is the mediocre white man effect. It's not enough that he died. That ain't good enough. No, no, no. He got to be dead, and he has to keep that Senate seat so that the Republicans can keep the seat. If Mitch McConnell was Jamal McConnell and this situation was happening, that son bitch would have, listen, they'd have opened that goddamn seat up immediately. Get your black ass on, buddy. Shuffle off the mortal coil, Negro. Welcome to Weekend at Mitchie's. Populism out of the mouth of a mediocre white man never worked. I have never walked a day in the shoes of a black woman, but I know black women. I know them. I've talked to them. I have been in fellowship with them extensively. So I don't need to walk in their shoes, but I damn sure need to be able to tell people to listen to their story about them walking in those shoes. Mediocre white men cannot do this. Charlie Kirk spouted a bunch of nonsense. Straight hot dog water booty meat sandwiches type shit, right? Bull Connor said it better. Strom Thurmond said it better. The Grand Cyclops of the Ku Klux Klan said it better. And what do all three of these people have in common? Mediocre ass white men. So you mean to tell me you're gonna elevate this same mediocre ass man saying the same shit I could have heard in Birth of a Nation? Boy, if you don't suck my dick, get out of here. Ooh, tired ass racist argument from a man with no teeth. All the gums. Woo, it sounds sexy now. All it is technology. You can hear the same shit from Strom Thurmond. The same shit. The same shit. But because it was Charlie Kirk, and he's white, and he's Christian, and his wife looks like one of them silicone dolls you can buy for $2,000. All of a sudden, yes, we are Charlie Kirk. Shut up. Charlie Kirk is literally a T-move version of Strom Thurmond. When you buy your action Strom Thurmond, but you ain't got the money, you go to Temu and find it, and you get Charlie Kirk. All the same racism, just a lot less teeth. That's why Dean, Parker, Z, and all the entirety of the Un-F America tour can suck my big black jank the long way. You're chasing that? He's currently getting necked by frostbite in the freezer while waiting for his wife to bury him. Lord Jesus. Oh my God! Y'all made an entire tour chasing this mediocre piece of shit. Why don't y'all chase Myron Gaines since you're in the mood to talk to mediocre sons of bitches? Why not chase that son of a bitch? Chud the Builder is an off-brand Charlie Kirk. That's why his punk ass is in jail. Chud the Builder, listen, Chud the Builder enjoys getting plugged. All right, there I said it. I don't care. There, boom, there you go. Had he stayed with getting dick down and not, you're chimping out, his bitch ass probably wouldn't be in jail right now. Be safe out there, in my opinion. Love you. We've been infested, not even inundated, infested with some of the most below average bitches on the face of the earth. I want y'all to seriously think about it. In the over 10 years that Donald Trump has been on the scene, Can you name one thing that man has ever done beneficial for all of us? Oh, the silence isn't for me, it's for you. Because below average, mediocre white men are not here for everybody. What has always pissed me off about the Democrats, what continues to piss me off about the Democrats, is they're trying to reach these below average bitches. Let me tell y'all something. If you listen to Hassan Piker dance in black clothing on a busy highway at night, just do that. Hassan Piker talks populism and progressivism, but he is a racist. And no, I'm not judging him by the content, by the color of his skin. I'm judging him by the content of his character. Y'all have screamed for 40-something goddamn years about what Martin Luther King said about content of character, not color of skin. Here we are judging the content of these mediocre hoes, and the first thing y'all want to say is, well, you hate white people. Boy, if you don't suck my dick. Boy,
you could put my balls on a pita bread with some hummus and tahini and eat that to the face.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Make that make sense. We didn't judge Graham Plattner because he was white. We judged him on the content of his character. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what pisses off these people. The reason America has this fascination and addiction to mediocre white men is this. They want these people to run everything, but they also want to be used. They also want to use them as a cudgel to the rest of them. As I sit in this chair right now, microphone, lights, cameras, whatever. As I sit in front of this microphone right now, I have achieved more in my life than Charlie Kirk ever did. Yet for some reason, Charlie Kirk is compared to Martin Luther King, and I hate white people. Who are the ones that are spreading this shit? These mediocre ass white men. Not to mention that there are agents of chaos amongst the marginalized who want us to defer to these below average hoes. Charlie Kirk was not assassinated, he was shot. Charlie Kirk was not shot by Antifa, Black Lives Matter, or anybody. He was shot by another mediocre ass white man. Okay? Those are the facts on the ground. I don't care if they make you feel bad. I don't care if your nuts right now are retreating off into the back of your goddamn asshole. I do not care. I do not care. I don't. Because those are the facts on the ground. And no, we didn't hate Charlie Kirk for freedom and free speech. We hated him because his below average mediocre ass was a walking, talking, living, breathing goddamn racist. Judged on the content of his character. Everybody on TikTok is now discovering what I have known for 3 years about Matt, a.k.a. Pigeon. The fact that that pigeon thought he could talk to me. Oh, well, I'm a lawyer. Bitch, I don't give a damn. I don't care. The fact that he jumped on a beef with another mediocre-ass person. And yes, Carlos, clip that. You're a mediocre-ass, below-average black man. The fact that Matt decided to jump his ass in the middle of that fight as if he was some sort of an authority on me. Like Al Pacino said in Glengarry Glen Ross, who told you you could work with men? Who told you this? You're a drunk, an alcoholic. You serve no purpose. except to gum up the goddamn works. You see, I will call them out if they're on my side or the other side. I do not argue with people who in their insert amount of years have not done half of the shit that I have. But to say that out loud is identity politics, according to Senator Sanders. Graham Plattner was foisted on us in a crucial time where we could possibly gain some momentum, gain something that would hold this mediocre hoe in the White House to account. Bernie Sanders decided to anoint not just any problematic white man, but a problematic, below average, mediocre ass white man. If you work for Blackwater, bitch, I'm not electing your ass to catch my dog. I'm not electing you to catch my goddamn dog. I'm not. You had a token cough on your chest. Hey, Jews, vote for him anyway. Are you out of your goddamn mind? Are you out of your mind? This is the problem I've had with far leftists and their mediocre asses. You got a revolution. You want to start a revolution. You want to show both sides or blah, blah, blah. What the F do you have to replace it? Except more mediocre ass white men. I am so disappointed in the Arab American community because y'all fell for that. You fell for it. You fell for the choice of mediocrity. Well, Kamala Harris wasn't going to stop the bombs in Gaza, so we voted for Trump. The black woman who was the most overly qualified person ever to run for the presidency, she didn't say genocide. She didn't say free Palestine. So your dumb ass went with the most mediocre ass president we've ever had because you were dazzled by the mediocrity. Oh, he promised, he said, he promised, he said, he promised, he said. I'm telling you, I have a penis so long, it's still sitting on the outside of this shed. No, don't go check. Don't check. I said it, remember? You believe what I say. I'm so disappointed in the Latino community, knowing that this man does not like you. He has made this abundantly clear. But because he was a mediocre ass white man and the black woman was just a bridge too far because of your misogynoir, you voted for the guy that is knocking your ass up and putting you in CCOT and Delaney Hall and detention centers and shit. It's the dazzlingness of the mediocre. The brightness of the goddamn plane. I hate that. I absolutely loathe that because it has never given us anything. It has remained the biggest hurdle to collective good. Mediocre white men and their mediocre machination throughout American history is the reason why none of the words in the Constitution mean a goddamn thing. Every amendment, every word in the Constitution is meaningless because it is framed through the lens of men who are absolutely below average. America has an addiction to these mediocre hoes. For some reason, we feel if a mediocre white man's in charge, everything's okay. We fool ourselves into bullshit like, oh, we elected Barack Obama, racism must be over. That is some mediocre mindset. That is a mediocre ass mindset. Electing a black man somehow ended racism? Are you serious right now? How? How? I married a white woman. Did that somehow end racism? Is that, did I cure it? Did I cure it? Is it cured? Is that what it is? Oop, all gone. How? But that is the mediocre man mindset. We get the Grand Platiners. We get the Cenk Uygurs. We get the Hassan Pikers. We get Corn Pop, who I absolutely loathe because of that shit underneath his lip. I hate that man's face. Wow, I hate that man's face. With the little, yeah, pick a beard, bitch. Make a decision. You look like a goddamn conquistador if he was falling into a trap and was sold to us by Temu. Pick a beard, bitch. Yeah. You get the mosquito Doritos. You don't vote for the cop. You're all for the cop. Below average ass white men talking to us as if it wasn't below average white men that got us in this situation in the first goddamn place. Who is the most consistent voting bloc for Donald Trump? Don't everybody talk at once. Don't everybody talk at once. Who is the most consistent voting bloc for Donald Trump? No matter what his policy does to everybody else, who is the most consistent voting bloc for Donald Trump? Y'all remember the guy in Alabama, Roy Moore? Remember him? Remember how when Roy Moore, all that, those accusations of Roy Moore going out there trying to bang little girls, remember that? Who was it that was still willing to vote for this piece of shit? And I want white women to bring their ass up in here too, because you're not getting off the hook. Nah, I don't think you're going to be able to run from this one, homie. You're not getting away with it. Because some white women are raising and enabling these below average bitches. White working class voters and white evangelical Christians were Donald Trump's most consistent voting blocs from 2016 to 2024. In all three presidential elections, Trump won over 65% of white voters without a college degree and roughly 85% of white evangelical Protestants. White women, y'all enable these dudes. First off, you get with a below average ass white man. Let's just, you meet him at the bar or your cousin hooks you up with him. You meet him, you think he's cute, even though on a scale of 1 to 10, he owes numbers. He does. He owes them. You get with him with his racism. You get with him with his sexism. You get with him with his homophobia. You get with him with his xenophobia. You get with him with his anti-Semitism. You get with him with his Islamophobia. You get with him with his transphobia. You get with him with his ableism. You still decide to give that man some pussy. And then you produce below average ass children. White men, the demographic has remained Trump's strongest and most consistent base. In 2016, Trump held a 30-point advantage over Hillary Clinton amongst white men. This margin compressed somewhat in 2020, but rebounded in 2024 with AP Votecast showing Trump winning 59% of white men. You pop out these below average ass children. You have every type of structure and rule for your daughter. She can't even wear a dress because for some reason you think everybody wants to bang little Ashley. But little Rummer, you let him run around loose. When he's out there using a magnifying glass to grill ants, you just like, oh, that's my little Rummer. He's so cute. Oh, my God. Rummer's so cute. Look at him frying ants. He punches his sister in the goddamn mouth. Knocks out 3 teeth. Boys will be boys. Then your below average ass husband comes in. I'm going to teach you how to hunt and fish. Here's a gun. Here. I know you can't talk. I know you can barely walk. Boy, put this AR in your hand. Because below average white men love shooting shit for whatever goddamn reason. They can't wait to shoot Negroes, but they'd rather shoot. They're going to go out and shoot a deer because shooting a Negro might be a first degree murder charge. You got this mediocre ass dad and this mediocre ass son out there popping deer that just minding their own goddamn business. Then you start teaching them shit like, you work for what you want. That makes you different than everybody else. That's a family value. Bitch, my mama worked. All of my siblings have worked. That ain't no goddamn family value. That ain't even a standard. Bitch, that's what you're supposed to do. We live in a capitalist hellscape. Nobody, I take that back. Rich people are the only ones that can get money by sitting down and laying on their punk asses. Shut up. You out there teaching them that makes you above everybody. Then you start filling their head with this goofy shit. You know, the blacks are black on crime in Chicago, and women are good for making babies and making pot roasting. The gays want my little Ashley. You mean that child that you basically got in a cage? You remember her? You don't let her breathe. You take her to church and you teach her she ain't shit, and all she can do is service a man. But your son, Rummer, is learning all this shit. So then you unleash that little goddamn vagina spawn on the rest of us. Every time he does something. Be safe, Shaft. Love you, brother. Every time he does something, oh, boys will be boys. You excuse it. You make excuses. You get into that damn Bible, which you don't read. You think every person in it is white. And that Jesus beatitude shit, oh, that's woke ideology. And then you listen to Fox News. Fox News should relabel itself the haven for the mediocre. News for the below average. When you want news that absolutely will give you no goddamn information and make you mad at a brown person, watch Fox News. I'm going to use some pimp language. You ain't no news. You a rest haven for hoes. That is, Fox News is a rest haven for dumb hoes. You get filled up on that dumbass shit that they pump out across screens all over the damn world. Ran by a man who looks like scrotum. He looked like scrotum skin with glasses on. That evangelical bullshit will have your ass believing that, yes, your daughter can get this work. Morning Star, we have missed you. Where you at, girl? We was worried about you. We was worried about you. Chaos said, Fox News is a $10 house with lube. God dang.
Mama still working in them $10 houses?
Jesus. Fox News is a rest haven for the uninformed. Sean Hannity has never told a fact in his goddamn life, and I'm pretty sure not even his name. Are we sure it's Sean? Are we sure? Maybe it's not spelled the way he spells it. Maybe it's spelled S-H-A-N. what is it? SHAWN. Maybe that's the Sean. Laura Ingraham, I could not be married, dating, or a friend with benefits with Laura Ingraham. This is going to sound whatever, and I don't care. Laura Ingraham, after listening to Laura Ingraham talk all that bullshit, as soon as she got home, I'm like, listen, I'm going to need you to do me a favor. How was your, first off, I'll be like, how was your day, baby? Oh, well, you know, the leftist leaner, hey, F all that. Could you just do me a favor?
You could put my balls on a pita bread with some hummus and tahini and eat that to the face.
I need you to go get the tahini and the hummus and just eat this to the face. I need you to eat this to the face. Never has a white woman been dumber and prouder. You see, that right there is our issue. Mediocre white men, they're dumb. And in years past, a dumb person couldn't talk to you. You know, racism is just stupidity, right? That's all it is. Not, I can train you out of it type stupidity. No, just raw ass stupidity. It's like the stupidity stone. That's all it is. That's why they say racism isn't born in you, it's taught. You were taught this ignorant ass shit. Now, mind you, your life is a dumpster fire. Your life is a dumpster fire having carnal knowledge of its own asshole. But you got time for racism. Stupidity is what it is. Now, if you've ever had cockroaches in your house, you know when you turn the light off in your kitchen or wherever, they're coming, right? Right? Remember that? They will invade and run over everything you have in your kitchen, your bedroom, your bathroom, whatever. And what is it that stops them and starts them running for the hill? Light. Light. Graham Plattner isn't out of this race because of a Democratic hoax. Graham Plattner is not out of this race in Maine because of the Jews. Graham Plattner is out of this race because of his own actions coming to light. The reason the Emma Viglins and the Kyle Klinskys and shit like that are backpedaling like a mug is because they backed that. They saw a white man with a Viltrumite mustache talking populism, and they jumped their dumb ass on board. And then what happened? Because he was a mediocre ass white man, he had a past. And that past, the thing that people have been screaming about, finally bit him in a place where it was visible. It bit him in the goddamn face. And just like every other cockroach, when you turned the light on that ass, they scatter. They scatter. America's addiction, worldwide addiction to mediocre white men, stems from the fact that those of us in the margin, the ones who which mediocre white men have made all the rules for, the rules we are responsible for overcoming because their mediocre ass said so. In the face of those people, you ain't standing out with your mediocre white man. I'm sorry, you're not. to watch a bunch of Spanish-speaking people screaming, I will vote for Donald Trump. You fell for that mediocrity shit. You forgot that you come from a long line of Spanish-speaking people, proud people, hardworking people who have been subjected to all types of negative stereotypes by men like Donald Trump. And you stood your stupid ass there and gave all of that up. You turned your own light off to be, just, oh, he's so mediocre. Let's give him a chance. And now he's running in your goddamn mouth, eyes, and ears. And the Democrats, the left, the entire left side of political apparatus, y'all let Bill Clinton get you all sexually aroused for these mediocre pieces of shit. You did that. We never needed them hoes. Never. The coalition of black and brown and native and Jew and Muslim and gay and lesbian and bisexual and non-binary and queer and trans, that goddamn coalition is 3 times the size of these mediocre hoes. But you've ignored all of them to chase this shit. And the whole time, when those in the margins who know better, who have had to scrap and scrape and hustle for every dime we've ever had, every inch of ground we've ever been on, every place we have been in, as much as we told you over and over and over and over and over and over, stop chasing these below average bitch ass dudes. You chased them. You told us to turn our identities off. Turn off the scraping and the hustling. Turn that off. Turn off living in a world where stereotypes walk in the door before your ass does. Turn all that off so that we can continue to chase this elusive piece of shit, below average, mediocre sons of bitches. And then you listen to those mediocre bitches. If they told you, oh, Thomas Bishop is blah, 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 you listen. I got people who I used to call friends who believed Hawk before they ever spoke to me. Spoiler alert, I will never forgive you. Spoiler alert, I will never forgive you. Some of you have my email address. Some of you have my telephone number. Some of you can reach out to me through other people, but you believed him. And he sat there, oh, I'm so proud. Look at what I did. And then his mediocrity finally got exposed. Maybe Thomas wasn't crazy. Maybe I shouldn't listen to a man who gets drunk, makes videos, deletes them the next day when he's sober, and then makes some mea culpa. Maybe I should have just reached out to the motherfucker that was talking. Excuse my French, angry, I already know. Maybe I should have reached out to the guy he was talking about, but you didn't. Because much like American politics, you let the mediocre speak. When the knowledge was sitting right there, you had access to it, and you chose not to listen. So when inevitably these mediocre ass white men bite you in the ass because they are mediocre, now you got egg on your face. You got roaches and shit all in your ears. You got to take 2 and 3 showers to get that shit out of there. And the whole time you're saying, I probably should have listened to black men. Oh, I probably should have listened to black men. Ooh, I should have listened to Latinos. But you didn't. The problem is, America will not admit its addiction to these men. Why would you? It works out so well for them. scream identity politics, ignore everybody whose identity is wrapped up in their politics so that you can win. As if this shit is a game. Let me help you understand something. Every bill that is put in through Congress affects millions of people. Whether it's a tax cut for rich people, whether it's a deregulation on water or food or air, whether it's a bill that tells a woman, we want your vote and we want you to make babies, but you can't control your own goddamn body. The fact that Mississippi just got rid of slavery in their constitution. The fact that the 13th Amendment has an addendum in it. Little addendum. Oh, yeah, you free unless you're arrested for a crime. That's some mediocre white man shit. Yeah, you free, but don't break the law. Who's interpreting the law? Us. What? The whole time. The whole time. The whole time. America continued to be addicted. America is a crackhead for mediocre white men right now. And the sad part about it is America took its addiction to mediocre white men around the world. Because what have I always said? America's greatest export. America's greatest export is racism. The ability to tell people from places these mediocre ass white men have blown to smithereens that they can't come into their country. The balls to exploit countries in the continent of Africa and then say how ghetto Africa is. So ghetto you couldn't stay out of it? So ghetto you're still in it? So ghetto that you don't even see the people there and therefore you don't give a shit about them? The mediocrity of a person like Benjamin Netanyahu, who should have went to therapy after the death of his brother and instead decided genocide was perfectly okay. The mediocrity of the man. And his right-wing mediocre ass goddamn cabinet. Just below average asshole. The mediocrity of a Marie Le Pen in France. Bitch. The shit you're talking about sounded better coming out of your father's mouth. You just look stupid. I'm a woman and let me vote against everything that would make my life better as a woman, a working woman, and a mother. The addiction of mediocrity. Vladimir Putin, always trying to look strong and powerful, but when he stood next to Obama, Obama looked down on his punk ass. Mediocrity. America's addicted to this. And sadly, America don't want to get off the dope. America does not want to get off the dope. They don't. You think Graham Plattner is the end? No. John Fetterman got y'all dumbass. Remember that? Remember Fetterman? Remember the stupid shit he was talking on the way to get in the seat, only to turn around and be the same mediocre ass, long for no reason ass human being he's been since birth?
But he wears sweatshirts, Thomas.
Bitch, I got a ton of them. So sweatshirts is what's gonna make senators now? Word? What we doing now? That's keeping the block fed? That's keeping the whole block fed? That's keeping the block fed. Wearing a sweatshirt. You see, people on the left, the far left, fall for the illusion of goodness coming from these mediocre sons of bitches. The illusion. Do you know why a guy like Zoran Mamdani bothers so many mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging, mediocre-ass white people that are not in New York City? It's because he earned it. A Muslim in America earned? Huh? A Muslim in America earned his mayoralship. How did that happen? How did that happen? Muslims aren't supposed to earn. They're stereotypes. We give them stereotypes. Why aren't you being the stereotype? Because Mamdani didn't get the message. He didn't get the memo. He had good ideas. He had ways to make life for the citizens of New York City better. Oh, well, he's anti-Jew, and he's running for the mayoralship of a city with the largest Jewish population in the United States? Really? Really? Make that shit make sense. But they can't. It's as simple as that. They can't. How dare Kamala Harris earn her right to stand on a stage with desires to be president of the United States? She's a black woman. They ain't supposed to do that. According to mediocre mindset, black women are ghetto. Why won't you do the ghetto? Why won't you do the snapping of the, why won't you? Tabitha Speaks is actually intelligent. Wait, Tabitha, you supposed to be ghetto. Where's the I ain't be got no? Where that at? Oh shit. Is Taz J smart and will snap back? What? Wait. Why she got the long nails? How come she ain't clicking and clacking in the That's the stereotype, the mediocre mindset. But let one of their own come up. Hi, I'm Graham Plattner. I have a totem cough on my chest. I used to be a Blackwater mercenary. My dad gave me money to start my clam business, and my mother buys them all. I'm a working class white man. Ooh, shiny. Ooh, look at him. He's got Grand Regent Thrag's mustache. He's talking populism. Bernie talks populism. They're Bernie and they together. No scrutiny. Drowning out the voices of people who had criticisms of him since day one. Drown that out. Other candidates in the race who you could have picked. But you went with him. And then everybody and their grandmother who have been handmaidens to mediocrity, every one of them jumped right on the bandwagon. Ooh, him white. We can vote for him. Him a man and he white. And he mediocre, but that's okay because we can get past it. And then one woman came out. Then two. Then four. Sexual assault, sexual violence, sexual assault, sexual violence. Oh, it's a smear campaign. If Barack Obama had done half the shit that Donald Trump has done in the 2 times he's been president, Barack Obama, y'all wouldn't have seen him until he started stinking. Barack Obama would have been found bloated somewhere in the reflecting pool. But it's okay. Because he's a mediocre white. Let's get one of our own. Not let's get with the people we already have. Not let's get with the people who have been the backbone of this goddamn whole left apparatus. You know, have y'all noticed there has never been a listening tour of black women for the Democrats? Has it? Who is it that saves democracy every single election? Who is it that never votes for stupidity, never votes for assholism, never votes for that goofy bullshit, but always, always, always somehow are on the right side of goddamn history? Who is that? Oh, black women. And then you get mediocre ass white women that want to climb onto that. We should elect more women. Hey, white lady, why don't you do your job first? Instead of talking about electing more women, why don't you talk to the white women in your life that keep voting for these mediocre pieces of shit in the first goddamn place? Don't come up and blow up smoke in a woman's ass. Get out of here. Do not bring your ass in here all of a sudden talking about woman solidarity when a lot of white women, an overwhelming majority of white women over and over and over and over and over betray women of color, particularly black women. And y'all raise these mediocre sons of bitches. So all of a sudden you want more women to vote. How about this? Why or more women elected to office? How about this? Chin check the white women that keep screwing this shit up every single time. Don't bring your ass over here looking for solidarity with black women now. Don't. Because they ain't the problem. Latino women aren't the problem. Jewish women aren't the problem. Trans women are not the problem. It's the same white woman demographic that keeps going along with this shit. Propping up the mediocre and think they're doing something. Don't come talking to them. Talk to your own people. First step in solving a problem is admitting that there's a problem in the first place. America is addicted to the below average white man. Whether it's Donald Trump or the Patriot Front, black women have historically exercised their right to vote with a consistent focus on universal rights, civil liberties, and community advancement, navigating system barriers. Early trailblazers like Ida B. Wells and Mary Church Terrell have advocated for both racial equality and gender equality to benefit all African Americans. Maybe some of you mediocre ass white women that continue to prop up these mediocre white men, maybe you need to take a little lesson in a thing called intersectionality. Put that goddamn Bible down. You wasn't reading it anyway. Get your ass out them churches where they continue to foster and prop up this mediocre ass bullshit. Morning, Cinnamon. Beautiful sale. Get away from that. The first step in solving any problem is admitting that there is a problem. And the problem in America, just like the problem around the world, is a very simple phrase. The addiction to mediocre white men. Graham Plattner, Bernie Sanders, Hawk, Nigel Farage, Tommy Robinson, all of them. Instead of putting in any sort of hard work and dedication to the real people that are looking for change, like Bernard Taylor and Richard Ojeda. Instead, you continue to cling on to the populist sheen of these mediocre sons of bitches. And then you end up with shit like Mitch McConnell being dead, but nobody announcing it because we want to keep a Senate seat. Then you end up with a person like Graham Plattner, who is he is in so deep hot water, the bitch is starting to cook. Saying things like, well, I'll get out, but let me help pick my replacement. Man, you've done enough. You've done enough. Go sit your stupid ass down. It is mediocre white women that marry these mediocre white men and produce mediocre-ass white children that you make excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. Instead of teaching them how to live in a diverse society, you want the diverse society to quiet down so your little rummer can be the only person talking with his below-average ass. Venerating people like Charlie Kirk, who has done nothing in his life. Turning Point USA is a virus. It is not change. It is everybody diverse, shut up. The mediocre white man is talking. Moms for Liberty are not banning books because they think these books are bad. They're banning books because they show the strength of a diverse society and their bitch asses can't handle it because they produce mediocre ass children. Stephen Miller is a below average man. Him and his below average ass wife, Katie, will hide behind their Jewishness. But I'm going to tell you something. There are Jews that are doing hard work, hard labor, making the world better, and they're better than your bitch ass. We all are missing one key element. The key element is this. Whether it's Stephen Miller and Donald Trump, Tommy Robinson and Nigel Farage, Marie Le Pen, Viktor Orban, Vladimir Putin, the one element that runs through all of them is the father of mediocre white men, the architect of mediocre white men, the savior, whether they want to believe it, whether they want to say it out loud or not, the savior of mediocre white men. The man that I really do honestly believe Benjamin Netanyahu talks to. The man that I really do believe Donald Trump admires. That man is Adolf Hitler. That man is Adolf Hitler. In every category you can think of. In every measurement you can think of. Adolf Hitler was a below average white man. He was not special. He failed as a painter. He lost one nut in World War I. He was angry. He was pissed off. They arrested him. He spent time in jail. And when he got out, he became this great orator for mediocrity. Talking about the superiority of the Aryan man. This man was 5'6". A tiny little man. If there was a Bane in the time of Adolf Hitler, he'd have snapped his goddamn spine. But because his little feelings were hurt, because Germany started a war and got their entire ass cracked, he felt a way. Mein Kampf should have just been called Wham. An entire book of a whiny bitch. He brought devastation to the world, getting with two other mediocre people, Benito Mussolini and Emperor Hirohito. They made the axis of below average. Hitler wanted a world where the Aryan man was superior. And then Jesse Owens came over in 1936 and ran circles around everybody on the goddamn track. tried to prop up Max Schmeling, and Max Schmeling wasn't having it. He won the world title as a German man, yes, but he was not a Nazi. He told him, if you don't get the F away from me before I smack the shit out of you. And then Joe Louis, a black man, knocked his ass out. And you know the crazy part? Because I was reading this yesterday. Jesse Owens, one of his closest friends, was a man by the name of Lutz Long. German man, who he competed against in the Olympics in 36. Lutz Long helped Jesse Owens set a world record in the high jump. But just by telling him, hey, put your tape a little bit, put it back a little bit. That way you won't get disqualified. He did it. And Jesse set a world record. And do you know they were friends for years? Lutz Long died in World War II. His last letter to Jesse Owens, all he asked Jesse to do was to go and tell his son what type of man he was. And Jesse did. Lutz Long, a German runner, high jumper, things of that nature, became a pen pal to the man who beat his record in the high jump. And he cared about him so much that he asked him to do the one thing every real father would want to have happen if something happened to them. Tell my son what type of man I was. Adolf Hitler was a selfish, small, insecure, mediocre white man. So was Stalin. So was King Leopold. Because anybody who has to tone down someone else's life experience to make themselves stand out is a below average bitch. Jesse Owens ripped the veil off of Hitler and made a lifelong friend in the process. Max Schmeling and Joe Louis were friends after. Max Schmeling at one point helped Joe Louis with money trouble. You see that? That is called the strength of diversity. It is the light in the room filled with mediocre cockroaches. So I'm going to end this show like this. I want y'all to listen to me very closely. Okay? Do not ever dim who and what you are to accommodate someone who is less than you. Don't you ever in your life dim or turn down who and what you are to accommodate those who are not. America is addicted to mediocrity in the form of white men. I don't know how to fix that. I know that the populism thing that everybody loves is being done better by better people who are not a mediocre ass white man. I know this. This is not a secret to me. You see, I've been raised in it. Diversity is all I know. I'm a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a lot of things. Most good, some bad. I suffer from depression just like everybody else. I've had books that are in my head that I can't write down, and I've been trying for years. The movie Falling Down is a great example, in my opinion. Yep. The movie Falling Down should have just been called Mediocre White Man Goes Crazy. It's a Sunday. I am a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I make no secret of it. But the one thing you will never, ever, 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 ever see me do in this life is to dim who I am because somebody who can't compete is in the room. Our politics are being held hostage. It is time for y'all to start telling your whoever's, your congressperson, your senators, whatever. It is time for you to start telling their ass, stop bringing me these below average milquetoast ass white men. Stop it. Bring me somebody with a life experience that I can relate to. Bernie's never walked a day in my shoes. I'm not listening to Bernie about a goddamn thing. But his ideas, hell, I got a whole goddamn political party based around it that bring together 3 incredible pieces of legislation combined into one. FDR's Second Bill of Rights, the 10-point program of the Black Panthers, and the 7 tenets of Satanism. You blend that together, you put policies together, you have a political party. The Raven Party. You see, that's what I do. I don't sit around and complain about why the blacks get this, that, and a goddamn third. I do actions because that's where I come from. I was raised by a strong black woman. I am the product of 2 broken people who gave everything they possibly had to their 5 children. And we took it and we made lives out of it. Real lives out of it. And there is not a Charlie Kirk, a Graham Plattner, a Hawk, or any of these other below average ass white men that will ever take that from me. I want a room where people who don't look like me are all together, coming up with plans on how to make this country better. And I want those mediocre ass white men in a goddamn corner quiet. We're not feeding the trough of mediocrity anymore. If you can't compete, sit your ass on the bench. If it is a black woman's voice that has been in the trenches that knows better than I know, I'm sitting my ass down and I'm listening to her. The Tazes, the Tabitha Speaks, the well-read black girl, Boss It Up and Go. I'm listening to them. I'm listening to Latino voices that understand the importance of having this immigrant community in the United States and what they bring to the table. I'm going to sit my black ass down and listen. I'm going to sop up all that game. I'm listening to Jewish voices and Muslim voices and seeing how in tune they are and how they have plans to make everything better between Jewish people and Muslims. I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to sit my black ass down and listen to them. I'm sopping up all that game. When a trans person stands up and talks about their life experiences, I sit my black ass down, sopping up game. Because I know what they're talking about, better society. But when the mediocre ass white man in the corner talks, it's about bettering him. First step in solving any problem is admitting that the problem exists. America and therefore the rest of the world, have a very, very hard addiction to mediocre white men. Either go to rehab or do your addiction quietly. The rest of us in this diverse, identified world have a world to fix that you, with your mediocre, you with your below averageness, you with your whiny bitch ass, fucked up in the first place. Sit down. We don't need your input. We've got a world to save. Excuse my French, Angry. Excuse my French, sir. Excuse my French. That's the show, kids. As always, if you like what I'm doing here, or even if you don't like, but you still want to support, think about becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/Thomas the Villain Bishop. $3 a month. The $3 tier is the rogue tier. You get in there, you will start to see more and more content and products on the Patreon. I'm learning how to use it, still learning how to use it, but I will inevitably be doing a lot more with my Patreon. Matter of fact, I can go live on Patreon, so I might just do that, just for shits and giggles, just because I could. Patreon.com/Thomas the Villain Bishop. The Sound of Coffee shop is open, it's running, and it's piping hot. Go to the Sound of Coffee, all one word, shop.fourthwall.com. Hydrate, elevate, self-love is self-care. I love you all. Have a beautiful day on purpose. The good word from Miss Tracina. I will wait for Star and I will wait for Miss Lyles, but as I do this, I will leave you all. Hold on. Hydrate, elevate, self-love is self-care. I love you all. Have a beautiful day on purpose. Blind them with your brilliance. They either reflect it or get burned. Boom, 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 boom. Tracina out here throwing out nukes on that ass. Before I leave, I will leave you all with the universal greeting of the coffee beans. Bow your heads.
How you doing? I woke up. Everybody else, because I woke up. That's how I look at it. You all had a chance until I woke up. Today's mine. That's just what it is.
We ain't got, I'm sorry, y'all ain't gonna be able to fix shit. We up now. The coffee beans are up. It's a wrap. The day belongs to us. It belongs to us. Have a great day, Nana. I love you so much. Once again, Nana and DJ are the Mount Rushmores of coffee beans. The things that they do behind the scenes to help not just myself, but every other person on this radio station is beyond reproach. And the love that I have for both of them is eternal. Be kind, be positive, be authentic, be you. Fill your own cups today. Remember, mediocre men owe my money for $1.50 worth of cocaine, goddammit. Goddammit. The loving word from Ms. Lyles, be limitless. I love who you are exactly as you are. I am so effing proud of you. This chapter of your life should be appropriately titled Invite Only. I am here, no matter what, when, or why. The inspirational word from Miss Star O'Gwen. Sending positive energy to you all. Be great as always. Never set your limits to mediocrity. Stay safe and be open-minded. That is the final word from Mr. Merv. What is it that we say every day, kid? Today, I don't care where you are. Today, I don't care what you do. Today, I do not care what your demographic is. Today, you embrace it. If anybody tells you your identity is too much, if anybody ever tells you your identity is the problem, then show them what a real problem is. embrace everything that makes you you. Because mediocre can't stand up to it. So what the hell you doing dimming it for them? Once again, you cannot compete where you cannot compare. What is it that we say every single day, kids? Show love. Hold on. I like this. I like this. I like this. Look at Miss STL Blue Girl. Show love to as many people as possible because you never know what someone is going through. Love on somebody. Y'all love on somebody. Love on somebody today. I love you. I do. Unequivocal. Without limit. And my pride for you is eternal. What is it we say every day, kids? May your day be as sweet as the coffee in your cup. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea. My name is Thomas Bishop. I am known as the villain. My title and designation is the Brutalist, the leader of the Villains Guild, a proud, upstanding member of the Outcast Nation. And this has been a Truthful Thursday episode of The Sound of Coffee on Ghost Call Productions Radio, GCPR, where every voice matters. 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is the Taz Effect with the one, the only, the woman that sells all the records. Smart, beauty, sass, kick-ass, all in one human being. Miss Taz.
We may be starting a little bit late today, guys, because I do have an appointment, but we will convene. And to any trolls that are watching, leave me alone this week. Okay, if you thought yesterday was a doozy, I don't love you. I'm not your mother. I will be every reason why. But great show, bro. Bye, y'all.
Thank you. 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, later, it is the Taz Effect with the one and only Taz J. Tonight, it is Superplex Party with myself and the Angry IT Nerd. Well, grand opening, grand closing for Sammy, and Kenny did it. Kenny Omega is now the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion, and CM Punk is the new undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion. Just why? On both counts. Just why? MJF just won the goddamn title. Sami Zayn just won the goddamn title. Now we got new champions. What is going on? What is going on? You will find out tonight on Superplex Party with myself and the Angry IT Nerd. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on these GCPR airwaves. You guys are the best of the best, and don't let anybody less than you tell you that otherwise. Believe in yourself. And as Jor-El said, you can help them accomplish wonder. As always and forever, with love in my heart, I say that. With peace on my mind, I give this. Wakandan, Annabelle, please step back. The sex appeal is real, and I know both of y'all. One of y'all gonna drown your couch if you don't step back a little bit. Oh, good Lordy, fine shot. My God, can he get any more fine, baby? And just a tad bit of hair grease. I will see you all tomorrow. Make sure you are getting your flag on the play Friday flags into the flag on the play Friday part of the Discord server. We'll be reading them tomorrow because you know what tomorrow is. Flag on the play Friday. I love you all. Be safe. I will see you all in the morning. Peace. Hey. I love you. Don't you let one of these mediocre ass men white men tell you otherwise. I love you. You better not forget it. See you in the morning, kids.